You're watching the Adrian Bauer Project. Hello. Many thanks for choosing to click on my thumbnail and to watch my content. Very much appreciated, as always. And just to let you know, this tinsel is very itchy around my neck, so what I'll be getting for Christmas is probably a big rash. I don't know. So it's my Christmas video. Promised you that I was going to do one, and here it is. So hope you've all been well, all managed to stay nice and safe and warm as always. Weather today unseasonably sunny at the minute. It's less than 2 weeks to Christmas and it looks like spring outside, so who could figure. So what am I going to do today? Well, first off I'm going to tell you what I've been up to. Mainly I've been addicted to the Lord of the Rings, the living card game. I'm absolutely totally addicted to that game, absolutely love it. I've said in a previous video before that Fantasy Flight Games, who released that game, are re-releasing right now a version with the box, the core set that you need before you can play any other parts of the game, and they're making it so there's enough cards in there for up to 4 players. The original set only had cards for 1 or 2 players. This time they're re-releasing it so you've got all the cards that you're going to need if you've got 4 of you who want to play. And they've also put a notice out as well saying that if you've already got all the cards, there's nothing new in there. So, which I think is great, because there'll be a lot of companies that would have gone out and tried to squeeze you for that extra bit of cash by just giving you the same card but with a different design on something. But there we go. So other than that, can you see the prison pallor? Yes. We ended up in Facebook jail this year, not once but twice. The first time was there was some little left waffer shit trying to give me crap. Of course I retaliated, gave him a dose of his own medicine, and he got me thrown into Facebook jail for bullying. He started it, so I don't care. It's probably some little 12-year-old tosspot. And the second time we got thrown into Facebook jail was because I had an opinion. It was an opinion that didn't follow the left waffer book of rules that were now running Facebook, and we got chucked into jail again for an opinion I'd had. Opinions now on Facebook are classed as hate speech, apparently. Oh no! Well, there we go. I don't care. Our days on Facebook are limited now anyway, so we're not going to be much longer on there. Anyway, let's get back to the good stuff. And I thought, with it being 2 weeks to Christmas, we've just bought the Christmas programme guide for the television, and as always, it's a load of crap. So I thought I'm going to dig into my DVD collection. Let's have a look at the Christmas videos that we own now. There's loads of other Christmas films out there that I love that we haven't got DVDs of yet. There's stuff like Scrooge, absolutely love Scrooge. Polar Express, I think that's a great film. Animation on there, yeah, it's CGI based, but I still like it. I think it's great. All-time classic, The Snowman. It's only a half-hour cartoon, but if you think of it, it is a family film. I know it's aimed at children, but it's a family film. But for me, it is probably the perfect film. Not only just for Christmas, but the animation style on there, it all looked like it was done like watercolours. That was absolutely brilliant. It echoed how the books were, Raymond Briggs' famous book, and the musical score on there was absolutely superb. It is a silent film, really, because there's no dialogue in it. It's all the music is the dialogue you need, and you just watch it and you can see how much time and effort went into the musical score. Absolutely perfect. They did another version, The Snowman and the Snow Dog, which I don't think is as good. The music is nowhere near as good as what it was on the original. Plus they went more for the slushy sentimentality part of it, which I didn't quite like. It was a bit overboard, and you needed a shot of insulin after you'd watched it with that sugary. But there we go. So there's just a couple that we haven't got on DVD. Others that are missing out of here, of course, Die Hard. There's that great debate: is it a Christmas film or isn't it a Christmas film? What's a film set at Christmas? So I suppose it is a Christmas film, but it isn't a Christmas film. So things like that. So let's dive into our pile of DVDs that I've got. No particular order. These aren't in no order of favouritism at all. They are just coming out as is on the pile. The first two I've got up. We haven't got cases for these because these came free. The first one is Scrooge. That's the Alistair Sim one. I think it was 1940s, around that time. Classic version. Some say it's the best rendition of Scrooge ever. I think it's a great film. Alistair Sim is absolutely superb in it. And on the other side, we've got A Christmas Carol again. It's this time with Jean-Luc Picard himself, Patrick Stewart. This was a made-for-TV film, but I think it's superb. I absolutely love this, and for a very, very long while, it was my favourite Christmas film. That version of it, I think they did a fantastic job of it. People slag it for some reason, I don't know. It just makes them happy having a go at something, doesn't it? So there we go. Right, next one up. And before all you blokes out there reach for the fast forward button, stick with me on this one, and it is Love Actually. It is a Christmas film. Now, just a little tip, guys: if you want to get some brownie points with the missus or her indoors, sit and watch this, because it's not as bad as what you're going to think it is. Yeah, the kid who Liam Neeson plays a single dad. His kid is stomach churningly bad. It's that story that does make me reach for the sick bucket. I must admit that. I don't like that. But Bill Nighy plays a washed-up rock star who's released a Christmas single. It just happens to be the biggest hit of the year. He's absolutely awesome in it. Alan Rickman's in this. He's Alan Rickman. He's superb in it as well. He plays a chap that's got a knockoff on the side. Emma Thompson plays his wife. She's fantastic in it. There are bits and bobs in it that you'll be sat twiddling your thumbs, but there are some really great scenes, and some scenes with Bill Nighy in a laugh out loud. So, if your missus is sick of seeing Scarlett Johansson running around in a black leather leotard, or Kate Beckinsale running around in a black rubber leotard playing a vampire, well, earn yourself some brownie points. Say, let's sit and watch this. It's a chick flick. Get some brownie points. Right, okay. Oops. There we go. You get to like that. I'm doing that whole video, aren't I? Next one up is Elf. Yeah, it's Will Ferrell. I love Will Ferrell. He's very hit and miss with his films, I must admit. There are some films he do that just aren't funny, that are supposed to be. For me, it's just his face in Elf. It's absolutely fantastic. Again, we've got that schmaltzy American ending that British audiences don't like. We like, we do have feelings, we do like sentimental bits in it, but the Yanks seem to go a little overboard with it sometimes, and I think this is one. Prove a point. You think back to the original made-for-TV version of The Stand, the Stephen King book. The last 15 minutes of that is unwatchable for us. As soon as the bomb's gone off at the end and they've made their way back to the camp, we switch off, because we can't be doing with all that. Mother Abigail's ghost coming down past the insulin, can't be doing with it. But getting back to this, Elf, I've got some really laugh out loud bits in it. If you like Will Ferrell, you'll love this. If you don't like him, I don't think you're going to like it as much. Peter Dinklage isn't in it enough for me. He's only sort of in it for one scene. He's absolutely awesome, but it's a great Christmas film. Okay, next up, absolute classic, Santa Claus the movie. This is one for the whole family to enjoy. Again, yeah, it does get a bit American-y sentimentality, mushiness in it, but I think you can overlook it on this one. For me, John Lithgow isn't in this film nearly half as much as what he should be. John Lithgow is superb. The first half of the film, kids are going to love it. It's all a story about Santa Claus became Santa and all that. And then the second half of the film, it's when Patch, played by Dudley Moore, goes to the big city and meets Beezy, who's a really, really dodgy toy maker, played by John Lithgow. John Lithgow's absolutely superb, and for me, he makes this film. But it's another Christmas classic. Next one up, if you like a bit of crudeness to your Christmas films, then National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Don't watch the TV version because they just butcher it. It is edited by Dewhurst the Butchers. Take all the good bits out, they take all the swearing out. Grab the DVD copy of it where everything's left in, because it is truly superb. This is one of the best Christmas films you'll ever see. Again, got the sugariness in it, but not as much as you'd expect. Laugh out loud. There's parts of this film you'll quote for the rest of your life, and it's one that you'll always reach for at this time of year, or for any time of the year. Just watch it whenever you feel like it. It's a great film. Okay, so next one up. This is one of those, is it a Christmas film? Isn't it a Christmas film? Well, yes, because it's set at Christmas. It's about a Christmas present. Can you guess what it is? 10 points if you said Gremlins. Absolutely love this film. This is the original Gremlins film. Gremlins 2, it's okay, but I don't think it's as good as the original. Set at Christmas, of course. The lad gets a mogwai. He's told all the rules how to look after a mogwai, and of course it wouldn't be the film if he just didn't follow them at all, and he doesn't follow them at all, and we end up getting Gremlins. If you've not seen this superb film, again, get the DVD, because when it's on telly, for some reason they edit it, and they edit all the good bits out, all the good bits that will make adults want to watch it. Not one for tiny tots at all. So if you've got, sort of like kids, it's like, it says 15 on here, but I'd say for 11-year-olds and all, it's alright for a superb film. Right, this one is one that we watched, I think it was Wednesday afternoon. Now, when we first watched this, I didn't like it, I didn't think it was very good at all, but it grows on you, actually does, and it is Christmas with the Cranks. Again, it's all the American sentimentality at the end. It's a bit mushy, Christmas time's when you get a bit mushy, isn't it? But Tim Allen in it, he's superb. I love Tim Allen. I think he's fantastic. It's all about the family. The daughter's grown up and she's joined the Peace Corps. She gets sent out to Peru. So they decide that we're not going to do Christmas this year. We're going to go on a cruise and spend money on ourselves, because they'd spent $6,000 or something the Christmas before. Decided that this cruise, so they're going to cost them $3,000 and go on that. But they didn't think of Frohmeyer and and the rest of the neighbourhood, who are really, really upset that they're not doing the Christmas Eve party, and they're not putting their decorations up either. And honestly, there are some really laugh out loud moments in that. Okay, next one up. Let's get this. I'm going to do this as a two-fet, because they are both brilliant. I absolutely love them. So if you like a bit of coarseness, like in your Christmas films that National Lampoon's had, you'll love this even more, because these are absolutely crude, rude, disgusting, and they are brilliant. The Luftwaffe will try and ban these every year while they're still doing all their poisonous little deeds, but these two films are fantastic, and it is Bad Santa 1 and Bad Santa 2. Billy Bob Thornton, Tony Cox play two con men who, disguise themselves as a store Santa and his little elf helper, just so they can scope out where all the safes are and everything, and they go in there to try and rob the stores. Like I say, crude humour. If you don't like crude humour, toilet humour, that kind of thing, then you stay well away from these. If these are going to be on the telly, take my word for it, they will kill it with the editing of it. Even if it's on at 9, 10 o'clock at night, they will butcher it to death. So I'd say go out and get both of these on DVD. Bad Santa 2 isn't as good as the first one, but it's still absolutely hilarious, and it's fantastic. It comes close to being as good as the first, but doesn't quite get there. There's a couple of beats it misses, but I can highly recommend these two. If you're adult, grown up, don't show these to the kids at all. Seriously, don't show them. But these are two of our favourite Christmas films. Absolutely love them. Okay, another one up. This is another is it or isn't it? Well, for me, it's set at Christmas, so if we're having Die Hard, we're having Batman Returns. Awesome film. I think Batman Returns is better than the original Batman. Everybody says that the original Batman is the better one because it's got Jack Nicholson's Joker in it, but for me, this one's a lot better. You know, Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, Danny DeVito's Penguin, fantastic. You've also got what's his name? Google it. Plays the mayor. You know, he's fantastic. I just cannot remember it. I'll put his name at the bottom of here. There you go. That's what I mean. Yeah, he's absolutely awesome in it. Set at Christmas, absolutely fantastic. One of the greatest Batman films ever, and I think the reason why everybody loves Michael Keaton's Batman. So there we go. Okay, this next one up. This is one that always flies under people's radar. It's just sort of picking up a lot of steam now from word of mouth on YouTube, but it is A Christmas Story. This is just so hilariously funny. If you've not seen it, if it's on the telly, you can watch it on the telly because they won't edit any of this out. It's not offensive, the whole family can watch it, but adults will get as much enjoyment out of it as what the kids are. There's plenty of jokes in there for the grown-ups. It's all about a young lad and growing up in the 50s, and he's just wanting this air rifle for Christmas, and he keeps asking for it, and everybody's going to keep saying, "Oh, you'll take your eye out." Honestly, that's not sold this film very well at all, but it is very, very much probably our favourite Christmas film of all time. That one, It's A Christmas Story. If you've not seen it, do yourself a treat this Christmas. Either go out and buy it. Still get this on Amazon's where we got this one from, I think a couple of quid, or if it's on the telly, hopefully it's on the telly. I didn't notice it, but I might have overlooked it. Watch it on there, it's fantastic. And finally, this one gets maligned a lot on YouTube, I don't know why, and it is A Christmas Carol. It's the animated version. Jim Carrey, Robert Zemeckis that did this, I think, wasn't it? I think the animation is fantastic, how they've rendered the story, it's fantastic. I love this film, it's brilliant. There are a few scary bits that tiny tots might feel really scary. If you've seen this before, and I say the door knocker scene, you'll know what I mean. But this is Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol, told in a fantastic way, absolutely brilliant. You've got, like I say, Jim Carrey playing Scrooge. You can, even though it's animated, you can tell it's Jim Carrey. All the other characters you're watching, you can tell who the actors are, the voice actors, because they actually look like the people who do the voice acting. So there we go. I highly recommend that one. So okay, and that's all our Christmas DVDs. And like I say, there are other films out there that we love just as much. Just haven't got around to buying them on DVD yet. So don't bother with telly this year, just go out and watch them. So, like I said, there's less than 2 weeks to go to Christmas. I think we're on the 12th now. It's the 12th today? Yes, it's the 12th today. And hopefully you'll be re-watching the Christmas Advent Calendar that I did last year. If you're new to my channel and you haven't seen it, I will put a link up there I think it is, and then you can have a click on it and have a look. What I did, it was just 24 little videos where we had a joke and a little Christmas fact, and I had a picture of some celebrity saying which date it was. A lot of people seem to like it, yeah, so if you've not seen it, go and have a watch there. So just for now, just for this one of special, I'm going to do another little version of this. This is the Christmas fact that we're going to come up with, and it's all based around the area where I live. Now, some of you may know, a lot of you won't know, I live in a town called Warsop, and that's in smack bang in the middle of Robin Hood country in North Nottinghamshire. We're actually mentioned in the Domesday Book under its original title of Wearshop, and I think there's about a couple of farms and a few houses there that we do get a mention in the Domesday Book, which is one of the funny things about Warsop is we're too big to be called a village, but we're too small to be called a town, sort of in the middle. So that's where I think the market Warsop comes from. Now, I've not heard this saying for quite a while, but somebody did mention it the other day. I was overhearing it, and it's this little phrase that comes up. If somebody leaves the door open, they'll say, "Oh, you're from Warsop, aren't you?" Now, you might think, well, that's a bit off the cuff remark. What has being from Warsop got to do with leaving a door open? Well, it's all because of this. It all stems back from the days when to get from A to B and back to A again, you had to catch a stagecoach. They were the Uber ride of their time. So as well, going with all the stagecoaches, of course, in the 17th and 1800s as well, we got highwaymen, and they were a real problem. And you know, especially at night, if there was a stagecoach travelling at night. Well, all the staging areas, I think stagecoach, around the UK or England, Britain, call it what you will, for the most part they kept their doors open until it got dark at night. Now this was something to do with, like I say, crime rate was high, we've got highwaymen, and you know, the stage setting handler didn't want to hang around after dark. So when they got to the staging area, there used to be these big doors that were open during the day. Then as soon as it got dark and at night, they'd lock the doors, and that meant that the stage, if it was running late, they couldn't get in. However, Warsop was one of the very few places in the UK that actually kept the doors open to the staging area at night. The stage coach drivers knew this, and that's where the phrase comes from, because they knew that the doors would be left unlocked, so when they got there they could get in to the staging area safe and sound. And that's where that phrase comes from, that if you leave the door open, you've come from Warsop. So there we go. Okay, so I'd say if you've watched the advent calendar, you know that it came along with a little cracker joke. Well, for the last 20 months, there's only really been one joke.
Bumble, bumble, bumble. We must all stick to the rules and follow them to the letter, because you all know we're all in this together. 3 weeks to flatten the curve. Bumble, bumble.
Yeah, you know what you can do with your plan B and C, Boris. Anyway, so that's the end of my Christmas video for this year. Hope you all enjoyed it. Just leaves me to say, I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. Lovely Christmas. That's going to get on my face in a minute. Have their family around. Sod what the politicians say, because you know they're just going to ignore their own rules. You know, go out, be safe, yes, but enjoy yourself. They can't put a stopper on you enjoying yourself, really, can they? But, well, they can, but only if you let them. So, with all that, I say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and here's to seeing you all in 2022. Many thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe to my channel and to ring the little notification bell.